it's Maggie. I am a high school English teacher. I teach 10th and 12th graders this year, and I'm tired. But that's not what you came here to hear about. You are here to hopefully learn a good classroom management technique, so I'm going to share that with you. I feel like the technique that I'm going to tell you today is something that costs no money. It is so simple and easy. I know you'll be excited to hear this will be a short video. And here we go. The best classroom management technique that you can do is walk around. Walk around. Get up off of your butt and walk around your classroom. Now, you may be saying, but my feet hurt. Yes, girl, my feet hurt at the end of the day. I feel like, especially in high school, most high school classrooms, this is the setup. So the kids will come in, they will do a warm-up, bell ringer, do now of some sort. Then the teacher will teach some sort of lesson or thing for the day. They will do some kind of like whole group practice, and then the teacher will hand them like a worksheet or something like that, and they get the rest of class to work on that. So you may be saying, okay, well then what does the teacher do while the kids are working on that worksheet? Well, most classrooms, the teacher is sitting at their desk. And a lot of times if you ask them what they're doing, they're working on something they need to work on probably, like hopefully they're grading or lesson planning or something like that. And if kids come over and ask for help, like they're helping them, but a lot of times in those classes, if you look around, there's a lot of kids not doing the worksheet or the thing that they're supposed to. There's usually some wild thing happening in the corner or the back of the room or something, and the teacher seems to be oblivious or whatever. And yeah, a host of other problems. And I know there's probably more problems built into that little scenario that I just painted for you. But now let me paint the same scenario for you, but with only one change. Everything is the same, except for now, when the kids are working on that worksheet and doing that independent practice, the teacher is up walking around. The whole classroom environment now shifts. So I'm going to explain why I think that this is really important, and then I'm going to give you some more tips about it. So the reason I think that walking around is really important is because the first thing is, if you're sitting at your desk and you're telling kids, if you need help, come see me, there's a couple issues. The first issue is, at least with my high schoolers, a lot of them are lazy and they will not get up and ask for help specifically because they do not want to have to get up. And they would rather get it wrong than for them to get up and take the effort to come over there and ask you. That's one scenario. The second one is, sometimes kids don't know that they need help. And if you're a teacher, then you understand this. Some kids don't know they need help. Some kids don't know that they're doing something wrong. So they're not going to come to you at your desk because they think they're doing it right or whatever. And then you have some kids that are not going to come over because they just don't like asking for help. Plain and simple. And you're always going to have some kids that do not want to ask for help, especially if you teach high school, and I teach seniors, and there's a lot of them that just will not ask for help. So, if you are walking around, you are seeing every single child's work, and that's whether it's on a laptop or on paper. You are seeing what they are doing, which means you could look at the problem or the question or whatever it is they're working on, like a specific one, and see if they're doing it correctly. So you're going to solve the problem of the kid that thinks they're doing it right because you're going to see it and you can help them. You're going to fix the problem of the child that will not ask for help because, again, you're seeing it. And also, you're going to be able to help the lazy kid because you're coming to them and they're not having to come to you. So that's one big issue that it solves. The other big issue that it solved is almost all other classroom management problems. And you're like, this woman is crazy. Bear with me. So most classroom management issues happen, at least in my opinion, because the teacher is being hands off. If you are up, actively walking around, you're doing a couple things. You're seeing what the child is doing or is not doing. So for instance, if you're walking around and you look down at the child's laptop, for instance, and you see that they are watching a movie when they're supposed to be writing an essay, you've caught them. And you get to say, why are you watching a movie right now? If you're at your desk, you are not always going to catch kids that are doing things they're not supposed to be doing. You're also going to catch kids that are pretending to work because you're walking around. And I've also noticed that you will prevent kids from doing things they're not supposed to do by walking around. Because they know if you're making laps or walking up and down the aisles, at some point, you're going to pass by them and you're going to see what they're working on and you're going to talk to them. And so they might say, well, I'm not going to pull up a movie because I'm just going to have to keep stopping it every time that woman comes around. And they'll work. The other thing you're preventing with all these other classroom management problems is bad behaviors. If there's a child that is talking incessantly to their neighbor and bothering them, they're not really going to do that if you're walking around because they know eventually you're going to get to them and you're going to be like, what are you doing? Why are you talking to him? Why are you bothering him? Leave him alone. Like, you need to do your work. So they're not really going to do it. They're not going to be up messing with people because they know you're already standing up. You're going to walk right over there to them and be like, stop touching him, or whatever. So they're going to probably stay in their seat unless they have to get up for something. To me, this is like the best thing that you can do in your classroom. And like I said, it's free. It really doesn't take any extra planning or decision making. Like, you just walk around. And what I found is that even if my kids are not needing a lot of help, if I am up actively walking around and engaged with them, I get better results. Because the kids know they can't just put junk on the page because I'm coming by and I'm going to look at it. And they know, that woman is going to make me redo it. So I better do it right the first time. And you're holding your kids accountable. Get up and walk around. Now, I will say, there are some times when I do not get up and walk around. I do not get up and walk around when my kids are testing or quizzing. Now, if a kid raises their hand that they have a question, I will get up, obviously, and go over there and answer their question. If I see a kid talking or causing an issue, then yeah, I will go over there and address it. But I'm not walking up and down the aisles or around the groups while kids are testing and quizzing. Just because it always gave me anxiety when I'm already stressed about a test or a quiz. So, I'm not going to do that to the kids. If they need me, they'll ask for me. However, if you have a class that's really bad about cheating, you walking around might help. So that's one thing that you could do depending on your class. There are some times that I do not walk around. And it's really hard for me to explain the reasoning behind it, but I'm going to try my best. So if all of the kids are working very diligently and I have made a few laps for maybe, a third of the class of their work time or whatever, like a third of their work time. No one seems to be having any questions. Everyone seems to be just plugging along. Then maybe I sit down and work on something I need to work on. And I tell them, you can obviously come to me and get help, but I will only do that for a small chunk of time, and then I will get back up and walk around again, because now the kids are on a different section, on a different piece, on different questions, on a different problem, whatever. Now they might have new questions they didn't have before. So, you know, that's kind of my take. Almost all the other time, I am trying to be up and walking around. Now, I will say, I am trying to do more small groups with my classes. So, obviously, if I'm doing small groups, I cannot be doing small groups and up and walking around. But if you have like an inclusion teacher or you have an assistant, I mean, while you're doing the small group, they could be up walking around, or vice versa. So, I really think that this is the best classroom management technique that you can do. You are going to be able to help more kids. You're going to be able to spot more issues. You're going to be able to very quickly stop or prevent a lot of bad classroom behaviors. And like I said, it's free, it's easy, and all it takes is you just getting up and walking around. So that's my tip for this week. I really hope that you will give it a try. Let me know down in the comments what are some other classroom management techniques or tips or questions that you have about classroom management that you think that I could make a video about. And tell me down in the comments also, do you walk around in your room? Or do you like to sit at your desk? Maybe sitting at your desk works better for you. Let me know. Share your secrets. Make sure you're subscribed. And I will see you soon. Bye.